What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Another edition of Holy Try Football Podcast. Me, A.Y. Cunny from U.S. State Capital, the red state, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. To my west, D-Berg, what's up?
Ready to settle the hash. This is the start of it.
Postseason runs will be underway soon. Can, to my east, not as far. What's up?
Not as far. Definitely not the remnants of summer out there right now. Came back and it is absolutely blisteringly cold out there. I did not have this weather in Asia, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, it's been pretty cold these last few days and very windy.
Yeah. You ready for this weather outdoors in South Bend, Indiana?
Yeah, apparently they had 3 or 4 inches of snow yesterday.
Oh, man.
Which I don't want that, but just cold. Yeah, we'll see what northern teams will get to host.
Did our recording just reset?
What's that?
Did our recording just reset?
It does show 42 minutes, but
I'm seeing 157, 158, 159.
I'm seeing 17 seconds live for 20 seconds, 21.
This is our numbers all over the place.
Very weird. Breaking the fourth wall.
Very strange.
Yeah, we're good.
With one week of jockeying to go for a playoff positioning and berths, multiple berths on the line this weekend. But before we get to that, the week that was.
Are there multiple berths on the line, though?
Mountain West.
Oh, okay. I guess, yeah, those ones, yeah. We're basically pretty much set, right?
Just a few, moving around.
I mean, I would actually say 70%.
Mm-hmm. And Manuel basically said he's not going to penalize anybody, or like anybody not playing today can't improve, or this weekend can't improve their standing, basically.
Yeah, I take a little bit of issue with that.
Yeah.
Like, what if, let's say, Clemson goes out this weekend and puts it on SMU? Like, that should help Scar. I'm not advocating for Scar to get in. I'm just saying.
Oh, the hell you aren't.
I
was irate because I obviously picked Clemson that game. Then I'm hearing this bull about Scar.
I think Scar is a good team. I'm not saying they're deserving of being in, but I think that they are a good team.
The shit I've been hearing about Scar the last couple of weeks has been ridiculous.
They got their quarterback now.
Oh my god! All right.
Oh, let's go to a different one. Let's say.
So it's if SMU loses, can they stay in over Bama? Is probably the big one.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. And I feel like I'm the only one saying this. Yes. They definitely can, and
over Bama, absolutely. I mean, I don't know what we're talking about here.
I think that they will.
Wow.
I do. As long as they don't get dump trucked by Cardell Jones, like Wisconsin did.
Yeah.
If they go out and lose this game 30-20.
I mean, you just cannot lose that badly to Oklahoma, who's not good.
Yeah.
But in late November. And get in. That's why I was irate when I saw that was in there. Even with Miami.
Who would you have in over the Ole Miss?
Miami.
Okay, Miami. Hey, that's your ACC bias there.
Well, no, that's them not getting dump trucked by a not good team.
Yeah. No, I understand.
They lost to 2 okay teams, or maybe pretty good teams. But
I don't know if you'd say pretty good for either of those teams.
Oh, maybe that's your Big Ten
over there. Was that you're talking about Miami, right?
Yeah. Georgia Tech. I mean,
here's the good thing about
both solid, other than Syracuse getting dump trucked by Pitt.
Right. Here's the good thing about what we're arguing now. We're not arguing over 2 11-1 Big 12 teams that are both very good.
Right. Yeah, and that's why I don't care either way what it is, but I do think it would be ridiculous if Alabama got in. But then again,
well, it looks like they're getting in.
Yeah.
The question is,
And it's because of their win over Georgia, right? That's it. That's
yeah, I think that's basically. I mean, they beat that South Carolina team that's very respected now.
Yeah, coin flip.
So
the point is, there's no this year. I'm saying just this year. There's nothing. I mean, if you're going off of draft prospect rankings, that's all you have. Like, there's nothing remarkable that conference has done outside of their own cannibalization.
Sure.
Right? I can't think of anything other than what Texas. Okay, Texas beating Michigan, pretty good. Am I missing anything? I guess Georgia beating Clemson.
Georgia beating Clemson. Yeah.
Even that was that was obviously a lopsided final, but
right.
That one was not nip and tuck, but it was like in doubt, I guess, for 2.5 quarters.
Yeah, it was. It was.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean,
but you can't. Yeah, we're arguing over. At least we're arguing over 12, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Yeah,
instead of 5 and 6, 4, 5, 6. Right.
I think for me, it would be better if Ward Manuel was a better speaker.
I haven't heard one soundbite from that Joker. So
I see a lot of.
I haven't seen anything live. I've seen some clips, and I see quotes, and you can just look at his face, and you can just tell he's just not be in front of the camera. And now who is on that committee that should be in front of the camera? That's pretty obvious.
Dinich?
It's Alt.
Yeah.
Our man should be in front of the camera.
Yeah.
No bones, all business.
So there's those arguments. The other items that I have that one, Boise looking like they're going to wrap up the 3rd seed, which is ridiculous. If you look at that Mountain West Conference, isn't there 3rd place team 7-5 or something like that?
Wait, what do you mean Boise's going to get the 3 seed?
That's what they're projecting now. Boise's going to jump in at the 3 seed.
Why would it be SMU if they win?
Yeah, it's SMU.
Oh, it is SMU. Right.
And I would think you would keep them no higher than 4 regardless of the outcome of that game.
Well, I put the rankings off to the side. What's Clemson? Clemson.
But if Clemson wins,
Clemson's 17.
Yeah, that's the interesting part. But I would still.
No, I think that's the Boise would jump in if Clemson wins. Boise would jump to 3, right?
I don't know.
I don't know. We had not seen consistency with drops, but that's another thing. Everything here needs to be taken with the most grains of salt because people are bitching about Team X dropping so many spots versus Team Y when they lost. But they're just taking that on the surface. What they're not looking into is that same week, Team X might only drop 4 spots because the 3 teams behind them lost 2.
Right.
But no one points that out. You have to go and you have to know the team. So 90% of people are just fans of their own team, and they see a simple, basic Ohio State dropped, say, 4 spots, and Alabama dropped 10. Just for example, they see that and they're like, "Oh, what the hell?" But there's so much more to it, and sure, it's a little inconsistent. But some weeks, 2 weeks ago, how many teams in the top 17 lost? 6 of them.
Mm.
It's you're not going to drop as far.
And it does seem like now the good wins are outweighing the worst performance.
Mm.
I think obviously no greater example of that than Bama, but then even with Ohio State, and Georgia would have been interesting if they had lost that to Georgia Tech, because I would say that loss certainly in overtime, even if they don't even end up getting it to overtime. That's not as bad as the Oklahoma loss, in my opinion.
Right.
So, but anyway, we'll see how it shakes out. I can't believe that with I guess it's Miami's fault, really, right?
Yeah.
For blowing a 3-touchdown lead.
I didn't really even think of that until today, actually.
Yeah, I guess that's the source of my frustration. It all comes back to
I was so caught up in Miami escaping death so many times. I wished it one too many times, and it bit them and everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Miami.
The other thing that is absolutely ridiculous is the tankage that could happen. Or I don't think anybody would tank, but the fact that you have an easier road at the 5 than which people have been speculating for a while, right?
Sure, yeah.
But now that it's
Talked
really
about it before the
focused,
season.
if Penn State loses a close game and they stay at 5, right?
Mhm.
They'd have like Arizona State and then Boise, right?
Yeah.
Into the next round. And
Well, would they stay at 5? I mean, we think they should, but this committee, who knows?
who knows?
Yeah, he said we did say if it's close.
Yeah, they said that
They
they would.
lose- I already said I wrote it in an erasable pen.
Oh, they did
that
say
Penn
it?
State's going to lose this game
Yeah,
by 6.
they said.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then
Which
yeah.
goes by it's going to be
There's no way they can punish a team unless they get absolutely blown off the field because
Right.
the SEC and Big Ten would riot if their championship loser was penalized
Yeah.
playing an extra game.
You say, yeah, I mean, you say that, but I noticed you left out the ACC. So I don't. Why should SMU be punished if they lost?
SMU.
Like say
No,
SMU,
yeah,
say SMU loses by 3 to Clemson.
Mhm.
Like, why should they drop below?
I don't think they would. I don't think they would drop them.
I don't either, but I think that's just me hoping the right thing is done.
yeah. So
If they lose close to
lose-
Clemson, I don't think they would drop them out.
Even if they lose, I feel like for getting in, they have a fair amount of wiggle room. Maybe they are even a lock at this point. But if they lose by 14, could they fall into that and break up the? Because where are they at now again? 9,
8.
8. So could they break up the Tennessee, Ohio State
8-9.
8, 9?
Yeah.
I mean, I told Roth the other day. I think 8-9's locked up.
That's.
Do you think
that's
they
a
would
tough
fall
call
one spot
for-
potentially if they
Yeah.
at least if they lost?
Well,
That's a tough draw.
Well, they're already behind Tennessee though.
And then the 2 seed.
Oh, so
would-
Ohio State's 7.
Ohio State 6, Tennessee
6.
7, Smooth
Yeah.
8.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
But Ohio State and Tennessee would be the
8,
But you
9.
remember you have to move up to at least 2, so you move back at least 2 spots because of the ACC winner and either the Big 12 or if Boise wins.
and then the
I
7.
don't think they're going to win. We'll get into that here shortly, but
The 7 could be. I mean, the 7 could be Notre Dame. It could be
I would think
Georgia.
Notre Dame's pretty much ironclad at 6, right?
Well, if
It
Georgia
depends
wins,
on if Texas loses.
As a 6
Yeah.
seed, rather.
if Georgia beats Texas, Georgia's
Yeah.
Georgia's
They
the
could
2,
bump
and
because,
Texas
yeah,
Texas would fall to the 6 seed.
that's true. Yeah.
Mhm.
Which did I pick that? No, somehow I didn't. Somehow I believe in.
So yeah, we're mostly the field is mostly known. As you can look back to our playoff picks, I put some in green and red. But the positioning is still there's some jostling to be done.
Some jockage.
And yeah, we'll see what I mean, yeah, I was gonna wait till we got to the Big Ten preview, but the 5 seed is I know you have to play another game. That's dangerous. But if you think you're a worthy team,
Right.
you should be able to win that game. And assuming no one gets hurt, you then get the 4 seed in round 2. Meanwhile, the 1 seed draws
The
possibly
winner of Tennessee.
On a neutral site.
Tennessee, Ohio State.
Ohio State. And then as the 1 seed, you have to play that then 4 seed, that 4 or 5 seed.
And they're going to do the bowl assignments after all the seedings are done, right?
Correct.
Or is that already said? Okay, yeah.
Some people are getting bowls. Oh, you're saying the bowl in the.
I'm saying for the second and third
For
rounds
the-
I thought some of them are locked in already, like
to a specific round.
to a specific bowl. I think.
Oh, really?
I think the Big Ten champion still goes to Rose Bowl.
Oh, really?
I thought so.
Let me see. I haven't looked that far. That's what I was asking.
I believe so. Yes.
Ah, I see. Okay. That's a nice wrinkle.
So
I don't know how they're going to change it, but they absolutely have to change it because.
Oh, they're not going to because
the buys. I mean, I think
do reseeding.
They'll change it.
The old reseeding.
They'll change it in 2 years.
In 2 years is what I'm saying.
When,
I think
when the 14 or 16 come into play.
And then I think they'll do autumn. I think the best way, at least in my head, without going through all the permutations, is give the conference champions a automatic bid, but not automatic buy, and then give the top 4 teams buys, basically.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, I think what we said last year. I think we said last week that these unbalanced schedules just create a mess.
They wreck havoc.
I mean, I'm not saying we're getting faulty representatives, but like we're just like
they're in a no-win situation.
Certain teams are just rising up the rankings because they're dodging these teams and they're getting like Indiana. Like, look at them; they're a good team, but if they got dealt a harder schedule, like it's just crazy. It's a lot going on here.
Yep.
Texas dodged all the SEC teams besides Georgia.
Yeah.
But
Penn State dodging all the Big Ten teams except Oregon. Or Indiana also.
Yeah, there's just so many teams. But we'll see how it all shakes out. As far as last week goes, I mean, we kind of already hinted at a lot of it, but I mentioned the 30 overtimes in Georgia.
Ohio State, Michigan is the big one. All right. What's the sentiment around town, man? What's it like at Ground Zero?
What, with Ohio State?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean he's toast if they don't win it.
Even if they win it, I feel like half the
which is hilarious.
Yeah,
which
people would want it.
But no, I think
they lost to Michigan.
I think that would do some healing. But I mean, it's the same thing, you know. Like, what's it really good at? Is it really that much skin off their back? They're still gonna have a bunch of good guys, and whoever the coach is, you know.
Yeah,
it's definitely annoying, but
I mean, now that we have 12 teams, this is without a doubt, slam dunk, the most miserable playoff team ever.
Ever.
It might go on forever. Like this, the only way they can top this is if they lose to Michigan in the Big Ten title game too.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Could you imagine that?
That would be so good.
Well, I mean, the national title game a couple years ago would have been fucking amazing.
That would have been good.
To lose twice in the same year.
And for the national title.
No yes. But no, yeah, I mean, that's, you know, it's kind of like, that sucks. This is bizarre, but still gonna have, still playing with a pretty full deck. And they did beat him however many times in a row prior to that, right?
15 out of 16.
Yeah.
Went through. Bama took care of business there. Clemson, USC. That was a pretty good game, actually. South Carolina came back and won it after Clemson took the lead late as well.
Oh God, yeah, that game was ridiculous.
I was trying to flip to it on my streams in overseas. It was difficult, so I ended up just, especially as we were winding down the stretch, I stayed on the game for obvious reasons, implications elsewhere in the Big Ten. I really couldn't believe it. It was 10-10 at the half when I woke up, and I turned it on. I was like, all right, well, Iowa State had a slow start, as you'll see this, but I think they'll put it on here. It might not cover the 3 touchdowns, but sure, they'll end up winning by like 10 or something like that. But it just kept going, and that stretch down at the goal line where they traded interceptions multiple times. I feel like, right? And I think Ohio State had gotten in there, threw an interception in the red zone. Then Michigan comes back, throws an interception. Caleb Downs makes that nice interception. They missed the field goal. Then Michigan goes down the field and then tosses he had the tight end wide open. It's a terrible throw. Sawyer gets the interception. Just the most ridiculous plays there.
Which really should have been one of the moments if you're Ohio fairy tale person. He makes that play. They go down, score a touchdown or kick a field goal.
Yeah.
And then nope. That is not the way it went.
Yeah.
And it was that I don't think he was in on that tackle for Mullings when he broke the long run.
Yeah. I think it was over the other side. Yeah.
Yeah. But
unbelievable.
Yikes.
Unbelievable. And you can't help but think, if you're a Penn State fan, which I'm not, same thing happened in 2016. You needed the outcome to happen to be able to make it to the Big Ten title. You got it in overtime. That one very close. This one, the biggest upset in that rivalry's history, I think, or in many years.
Well, yeah, somebody there was something about like the other time in 20-point line, Michigan had won both or something like that. I heard somebody talking about it.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
I'm looking down the way here. Florida State lost again.
Oh, that was such a bullshit cover by that. I was so pissed off. I mean, Florida State is a disgrace.
Oh yeah.
But like, come on. And then Norvell, they're down 2 touchdowns, he's kicking onside kicks. I'm like, what are you doing? I need the whatever. What are we picking at? That was my lock.
14.5.
We picked it at
14.5.
14.5. Yeah. And they're down whatever in the game. I'm like, what is this asshole doing? What is he doing? And and then Chrome Hook, whatever the hell his name is.
Chrome and Hook, yeah.
Just irritating. But that's what bad teams do, obviously. So shame on me for trusting them. So
is that
Georgia? We didn't really talk about that. AY, I think. AY, were you the only one? Or Ken, were you watching that one somehow or no?
I was watching that one, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I went to bed I think that was in the third quarter or something like that.
Yeah, I was watching that one.
Watched the ending the next morning, obviously, but that was.
Yeah, I don't know how long that overtime lasted. It seemed like
we were going.
Well, Ken is seeing what that can look like almost.
I have seen it. That was, and
the up and down the field still cracks me up.
Oh yeah, it's such a bad system. It was hilarious because we had gone shopping that morning and we stopped back to drop stuff off, and I was like, all right, hold on, we're in overtime. Let me just see the end of this. And that was like one overtime in. She ended up taking a nap because we were there for an hour. And she was like, all right, well, if we're not leaving, I'm taking a nap.
And they scored quickly, too. It's just that up and down for the 2 points. And then Kirby called all those timeouts.
Oh, my God. The one timeout, a freaking frame. And every single timeout. So bad. Such a bad system.
Yeah.
Such a bad system. A&M, that was electric atmosphere, it looked like. It didn't really help their offense.
I didn't see much of that one.
The defense came up with some timely stops, but
they had a great first drive, and then the fourth and like 1.5, they got stuffed, and that was.
A&M kept getting stuffed. They got stuffed.
That was it. But if they picked that up, they could have set a different tone for the game. 4th and 1 from like the 15.
Mm-hmm.
But from then on, it was all Texas.
Yep. Texas tried to make it close with some of those turnovers in the second half, and obviously they got their one score with the pick 6. But that defense looked pretty good. Marcel Reed, we knew this coming in, or not coming into the season, but from basically the very beginning, he can't really throw, and so Texas really took care of business there.
Who was it? Dennis Dodd had him as the Heisman.
Yeah.
Disgusting. I mean, I'll talk about Penn State here real quick. They did cover.
Rent was due.
And
They
went
did.
over.
You
And
guys
they
didn't
went,
pick him.
they went over too.
They went over on the last play of the game. Locks was not happy about that.
I don't blame him. Come on.
Do you think Jimmy deals in the totals as well, or
I don't blame Jimmy there at all.
Oh, have you ever
Because-
blamed him?
Because he's got the threes and the
completely
fours in
forgot
there,
the,
and Block
West
still
Virginia.
has his fucking starters in there.
Be the bigger man for one
No.
time.
No, if they're
yeah.
blitzing the hell out of them and they're blitzing with their starters, I don't have an issue with him running it up there. And he runs it up every time against Maryland.
It proves nothing though.
That blood there.
That's
What?
I think that's why neutral parties don't really get it. But that's why I said the spread I actually get. I mean, it's disgusting.
No,
but I
he's
get
doing it there because it's Maryland.
it. Yeah.
One of these days, we'll get you to disagree with something he does.
Well, I disagree with plenty that he does. Just none of it to do with his running it up. I'm fine with that, especially against Locks in Maryland.
He's going against
Did
the
Loxley get
originator
fired
this
or no?
week.
Yeah.
Did Loxley get fired or no?
No.
I saw Neil Brown walk the plank. That milk.
Neil Brown walked the plank. Ryan Walters walked the plank.
Did I just step on our news? No.
No.
Nope.
I don't think so.
I
Those
try
are
and
the
keep
only ones out there along with Mac, right?
Yeah.
Let me see here.
Man, Purdue's had two really big swing and misses or whiffs. I don't know if it would do they count as a whiff, just really bad outcomes with two hires since the Azell is my favorite one still. That was a disgrace.
How else was how was the game, Can, after that last play mess? Besides that,
I mean, they came out, fumbled, gave up the touchdown on the first drive, and then they had a ton of pressure out there. It wasn't going to be close the rest of the day. Maryland couldn't do anything with that pressure. They had their second quarterback in there, MJ Morris, and it was off to the races for Penn State. And then nothing really. They took care of business, and that was that. On to Indianapolis. How about your game with
The dueling
you
pick
know,
six.
what was it, like 500 yards of throwing?
I knew you'd start there.
Ah!
200-yard pick six is amazing.
Yeah,
I didn't see any of the game, so I don't know actually how it happened.
Well,
I saw the pick sixes at the end because I was done with my game.
that Xavier Watts one staring down the sideline was just.
That was hilarious. He just kind of ran right into it. It was hilarious.
Was that the first or the second one?
That's the second one.
Second
Okay.
one.
I didn't even see the second one. I turned it off.
The
after
first
the
one, they were picking on that corner the whole game, and from what
You just said you didn't see any of it.
that's what I'm saying. I listened to Nessler talk about it. I flipped to it right when it was happening. I had
No, yeah.
USC plus
So-
7.5.
Christian Gray had a season's worth in one game. His first quarter, he was awesome. He was tackling machine. Second quarter, third quarter, Mekhi Lemon just absolutely worked him. There's no way around it. Sure, he made some sick catches, but good receivers do that. He worked him. Gray was getting picked on left and right, and then he made the play, the pick six. Yeah, they had 50 some yards. They had 140 in the last 3:30 of the game. That's when the game was over for sure. But yeah, credit to USC. They moved the ball. Notre Dame's defense has been great all year, but the most skilled players they've seen now, USC moved the ball. Absolutely. Maeva was pretty good, I thought, up until Notre Dame finally got pressure. And the Watts pick six was, yeah, you see how he threw that. It was 4th and 6. Notre Dame got no pressure seemingly all game. So they just brought it one more time and then finally got home. He threw off his back foot and Watts was there to clean it up. But the Christian Gray pick six was that was one-on-one coverage. It was all game. They had to go one-on-ones, which they always do, but they had to because the pass rush was not getting home one bit. So that's where it started. Look, I've heard it all from Notre Dame people to Notre Dame haters. Oh, you played great guys, so you got exposed. Yeah, they did get a little bit. Like, there's no denying that they did. Then you got the Notre Dame people. Oh, well, Maeva was so good. Look at these big time throws and all this. Like, yeah, it's some of that too. Oh, and that the bi-coastal, the night game in New York, and then the other coast the next week. Which, I mean, yeah, people always talk about all these teams, the Big Ten teams going west and the record there, the tired legs. Sure, that's some of it. After the Army game, the physical game that was, yeah, some of it. Look, I think just throw it all in there. Surely got worked a little bit, stuff to work on. They'll be healthier with Howard Cross next game. Maybe Riley Mills will play better. Some guys just didn't play well. Sometimes you play against good players too. So yeah, stuff to work on. But at the end of the day, they showed up at the end. And I think lost in all of this is the offense. And
running back is good.
They're averaging 40.
They were without the guy got hurt, right? Number 4.
Both fours got hurt.
Both fours, yeah. And USC's also did.
Woody got hurt and Love got hurt.
Yeah.
I mean,
is Love going to be the number 1 running back taken?
He's back next. He's back next year.
Back next year? Oh.
He's a true sophomore.
Oh.
He is so freaking good.
The best.
I mean, he's really good. He's the best running back Notre Dame's had since I've been alive.
Whoa.
And I feel confident saying that.
Walker.
Okay, yeah. I feel confident saying that because all these old heads have been salivating the last month over Jeremiah Love. So I've heard all the comparisons back through the day, and they said, yeah, Love. But, I mean, they still needed everybody, and we're moving on. I guess that's all that matters at this point.
In all my ramblings about the playoff scenarios, I failed to mention. I mean, I was hoping for a scenario where Army finds their way in because the potential of a 5-12 upset by them would be hilarious. But now I moved on to the battle for Indiana.
Oh yeah,
that's what I want. Which would be kind of cheap because, as I told you guys, talking to my cousin about it, but there are numerous people that would go to IU from there apparently that just still root for Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Like they don't even try, which goes to my irritation about how they are now in the catbird seat and once again not Pitt. But I mean that would be if Indiana beats Notre Dame at Notre Dame Stadium in Indiana, pretty wild.
That would be wild.
That on you, AY.
I don't think I think having
you would be a little bit torn now.
having thought about this now since Tuesday. I think I'm in Dave's boat. Actually, I don't think I am. I know I am. I would like to host. I'd like to host Alabama.
Okay.
Because, I mean, yeah, we see what happened in 2012. We saw what happened in 2020. Like, come on. Like, if you're gonna get Bama, this is the time that you can do it.
True.
This is their worst team. This is Notre Dame's best team, and you're at home. So why not try and wash away some of that?
Slay the dragon.
Sure, and say Notre Dame does win. They'll say, "Oh, yeah, it was on." I don't even freaking care.
Worst Alabama team. Calling from the grave.
Saban would never do that. I do not care.
Oh, yeah.
I want to wash it away.
Yeah,
we'll see. And Dave.
What if they lost? No, I'm just kidding.
And Dave wants. Well, I don't know who Dave could get. Dave's gonna have to wait till a neutral site game. Unless he has an issue with Arizona State or Iowa State or second round. We'll see. So, yeah. Dan, no message from Rance this week about feeling bad.
He's given up. He sent his one night. Oh, yeah. My stupid team was that was the classic lame duck matchup. Just ridiculousness. There's somehow a pick six that looked like a strip and returned for a touchdown. Just menace. Pitt had no guys left. There's like they're 4-string running backs, and they're taking carries. I'm like, what in the world is going on here? The guy that scored the winning touchdown against West Virginia, because they haven't been playing Hammond or he's hurt or whatever, and then Desmond Reed and Daniel Carter were out. So yeah, the receivers played pretty well actually. They did throw for some yardage, but just the team unraveled. Playing out the string. I hope they don't. Although I just got an email from Pitt football. Your Panthers are bowling, so it looks like they intend to accept whatever comes them. I would rather them not. I don't see much of a point, but it's like if Holstein could have, like if they would have finished with any momentum, and they obviously had guys coming back, then I'm all for that extra. They talk about what the extra practices. How that could help, and then maybe some experimentation, but I just don't know. I certainly do not want to watch another game for the team that is disintegrated from maybe pretty good halfway through the season to what it's devolved into. But coincidentally, Ken has not asked me if I feel like I'm missing out in the throughout the month of November, as he did in October. But I literally, it's funny because I probably even commented about it when you asked me that, but it was like they've done it. I've literally seen them do this before. They started 6-1 in 2006, then finished 6-6. I think they weren't invited to a bowl game, which of course me at that age didn't even like. Why aren't they going to a bowl? They're 6-6. What the hell?
Right.
So I don't know if they weren't invited or didn't accept.
Not enough balls back then.
Yeah, back to the. I think it could be interesting, but. With the portal, who knows what's gonna come of it? But to try and build off what the positive that did exist in the season, the last month notwithstanding, at least it all happened in 1 month. If you're looking for a glass,
you had 2 good months, and 1 bad month. But, 2 is better than 1.
And that was what was going on there at the end. Butchin was pissing me off about something. O'Brien, I forget what he was doing something dumb, but yeah, he's new sheriff in town. Gotta set the tone, as opposed to my old sheriff, which truly I think he's filled out the entire bowl of potpourri with possible seasons now. After 10, right? This is his 10th season, I think. So
I was dying going on Twitter after the game and seeing Carlo passing the pan around the basket, asking for donations for the NIL.
Oh yeah, he's been banging that.
Coach needs it.
Yeah, he's been banging that for
at least the last.
Pretty much any time I see it, it's like, you wouldn't. He was saying something about Cincinnati during the Cincinnati game when they were getting walloped. Like, you wouldn't even realize this. The NIL that Cincinnati has in comparison.
I just saw something about Sorsby. He got re-up. I just saw Sorsby sign a new deal with Cincinnati.
But like, we're not devolving into saying, Cincinnati, we just can't compete with their NIL. Like we are not devolving into that. Like that's not going to happen. It's just ridiculous. So anyway, that's it. Hopefully they don't accept their bowl, but again, per the email. And I immediately looked up like, I wonder where they're going. And then I forgot it's all done Sunday, right? For the most part.
Yeah,
although we knew about Hawaii Bowl.
Yeah, we've been seeing teams walking in.
We got Hawaii and Bahamas.
Yeah,
which leads me to believe they might be playing obviously a little bit later in the holiday season, but yep. As I said, if you're not first, you're last.
Not first, you're last.
All right, you guys ready to get to this week?
Yes.
Yep.
We got some news and notes though beforehand.
Just a few quick ones. We mentioned, I think, production meeting. The portal is filling up rapidly, so this is going to be a fun Wild Wild West type season with early sign day in the books. 2 highlights so far in the portal. Pod favorites, Calandria and Pyron of Wahoo and Tech fame are in the portal, so we'll monitor where they go. Peruna, the beautiful pony from SMU, is making the trek to Charlotte.
Nice.
I know there's been some uproar about Bevo not attending SEC, but Peruna, a live animal, is making it. And some nuggets here as we go into championship week.
Why'd they say no Bevo?
I don't know. I saw the headline. I didn't click it. I didn't look into it. Did not care enough. As we go into championship week, a theme here could be rematches. Well, I found some nuggets on conference championship rematches. Second time around, the loser is 27-27 against the spread.
Wow.
So
I was wondering what that meant.
So they're kind of just, 500. But 36 of the 54 times, which comes out to 2/3, they improved their margin from the previous outing by 7 points. So games tend to be a little the loser plays a little better. Not saying they cover, they play a little better, at least on the scoreboard. So something to keep in mind here as we get into some rematches like we have here in the first game, which is Conference USA, which played last week. Western Kentucky travels to Jacksonville State. Jacksonville State laying 5 here. You may be wondering Tyler Huff's status, the quarterback for the Gamecocks. I think he's good to go. He was injured last game, pulled out. Would think that's precautionary. Why would you play him? They didn't need him. Western Kentucky had to win the game. Jacksonville State did not. Trey Stewart was limited as well, just precautionary. They didn't need to use him. They saved him a little bit. And Western Kentucky kicked a 50-yard field goal to win by 1. All that being said, I think Jacksonville State just sat on it. Nothing to play for.
That was just halftime of the game, actually. The end of the first game is just halftime right now. They're only down by 1.
Right.
Yeah, they said screw it.
But they're actually down by 5 now going into the –
They probably like the matchup against Will Camp's going to throw against him, but
yeah,
Huff and Stewart are going to run wild here. Give me Jacksonville State by 2 scores.
Yeah, I got Rich Rod being tied per Pat McAfee. Rich Rod tied to West Virginia, whatever the hell that means.
He's been tied to a lot of places.
I know, yeah. I wouldn't do it, but yeah, I got the Cox.
Making a sweep there. Cox were playing possum and getting ready for this week. It's the end of that first game was just game 1. Or the first half. First half. The second half is coming now. They'll take care of business here.
All right.
Yep. Friday night, another rematch. UNLV traveling to the Smurf Turf, take on Boise. Boise laying 4 here. We got Boise been playing with fire the last month. UNLV looks better with Hajj Malik, Williams, Ricky
And they
White
look
there.
pretty good. I will say, I'm not one to give out comments or compliments. I'll give out comments to anyone. Compliments to this UNLV squad, but I think I was certainly pulling for Genty and Boise, but I think the road stops here. That stupid quarterback they have. What the hell's his name again? I kept calling him Mark Madsen. It's something Madsen.
And it is Madsen.
Yeah. Maddox Madsen, the backup.
Maddox Madsen.
Malachi Nelson. Yeah.
Right. So it finally catches up to him.
And Mark Madsen, yeah.
Because he was on a heater, much like a game I thought we'd be talking about later. But on a heater in that first game. And I think if I'm the Rebs, I'm like, okay, yeah, we'll see if you can do that again. Is Genty's not hurt at all though, right?
No.
All right.
He was I think slowed a few weeks ago for like 6 quarters, but I've not heard him popping up on any worries, any injuries.
Should have checked on best.
They do Boise gets back 2 linemen who they eased in last week against the Beavs. So the rush attack could get even a little better.
All right.
I'm taking UNLV here as well. I think I'm going HP though. I think the Rebs keep it close. Boise's been playing with fire, and I think this is the type of scenario where they play with fire enough times, you think they're going to get burned, and they deserve to get burned. But I just think
But then it happens in their playoff game.
and somehow I think they escape it again in a playoff game. You're like, all right, they've been playing with fire for like 6 straight games now, and they're going to get blown out. and they don't get blown out in the playoff game and just kind of fizzle out. That's what I'm feeling here. So give me Boise to win by 2. Go Genty. But yeah.
I agree. Again. Sweep
Look at this.
again.
I'm gonna have to start going
Fire.
last so I can catch up with you guys.
Yeah, the fire continues to burn a little bit. I got a field goal here at the buzzer for Boise to win. I think it'll be a classic. Good game. Ricky White, very, very good player.
Very good. Probably the second best player in the field. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. I'm actually pretty excited for this one.
Oh, yeah.
Tulane Army. Army catching 5 at home in West Point in the American Championship game.
I don't like to see that.
Gonna be cold and windy. Tulane off.
By Long John Silverfield.
So yeah, my cap here is Tulane. Where are they after that loss to Memphis? Where they had the CFP
In their crosshairs.
hopes alive at least. Army, you gotta think they're gonna show up at least, but Summerall.
Where's he interviewing?
That's twofold. Yeah, where's he interviewing? Where's his mind? But when he is locked in, he has shut down these option teams.
Yes.
Where are we here? And Army's a ranked team, getting points.
He'll have his team up. They want respect after losing last.
The angle.
I think you throw the angle out when you're talking about service academies.
Whoa!
AY needs it. He needs that pelt.
Yep, I'm going Tulane.
Oh, okay.
I think having seen Army,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
but I think seeing what Notre Dame's running backs did, which are very good. Mekhi Hughes, also very good. I think he's just going to run all over Army, all over him.
I agree. I'll let you go last, Dan, if you want to catch up to him.
No, I'm kidding. I'm going Tulane as well.
Yeah, I'm going.
I already have my picks. I write them out every week.
Yeah, I know you do.
I couldn't come up with a line for that Iowa State. It was Iowa State, Kansas State last week. So I was just like, they've pretty much said everything. I would just say I need to catch up.
I'm going Tulane. A little
9 for
bounce
9.
back from their team last week getting shellacked by Memphis.
Yeah.
Sorry to blow my nose.
Where is this game? The Big 12 one. Is it still
Jerry World.
It's still in Jerry World?
Yeah.
Even though they don't, or I guess they still do have some Texas teams, I guess, in the Big 12. But okay. Arizona State, Iowa State. Has Iowa State ever been to the Big 12 championship game?
I don't think so.
This is the first year they won 10 games, so I don't think so. I mean,
They never snuck in with like an 8-4 record or 8-2 record when they would do the division.
And Koalas didn't make it in.
Yeah.
The biggest news here is Jordan Tyson out.
Receiver.
Arizona State's receiver. I didn't know I knew he was really good, but he was leading the FBS in November in like catches, yards, touchdown, like everything.
Wow.
The other receivers, I saw their numbers.
That's the San Jose State guy.
More than Nick Nash, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think Nash just tore up September, but
Yeah.
they had quarterback issues out there. But
I don't want to get too negative here, Cam, but who would you rather play of these two?
Oh, I think
you would rather play Arizona State.
Interesting. Just
so.
coming up with the cold. I was going to say I think you'd rather play Iowa State because they're basically Iowa.
Well, they throw a lot, actually.
A little bit. They've got a little bit more, but they can't.
Beck's just been throwing. Beck's been playing well.
And they have 2 stud receivers, Higgins and
the small guy, number 13. He's very good. But I think I'd take Scatterbo, especially if AY saying that guy's nicked up.
Receivers out,
by the time that game rolls around, unless it's a long-term injury.
Tyson?
Yeah,
Out for the season, right?
He's out for the year. Yeah.
Oh, he's out for the year. Yeah, I'd take Arizona State, then you can load up against Scatterbo.
That's true. Yeah.
That'd be fucking hilarious just watching him go out there. Just his fire hydrant ass out there.
Yeah.
I heard Stanford Steve said this. I found it funny, but true. Do people like not super locked in know who Arizona State is playing in the Big 12 title game? Because in all these all you see is like the bracket projections, and it's 12 seed Arizona State. I feel like if I would ask like Cheyenne right now, who are they playing? He wouldn't know.
And still talk about the guard play at Penn State.
Yeah, that's but I'm going Iowa State here.
Right.
I'm going Iowa State as well. I
got the fork.
He's got the fork. I think Iowa State
I had the fork too before you guys.
He's had the fork as well. I'm going Iowa State. They've been playing well. Beck's been playing well. That you mentioned that injury as well for Tyson. So Scatterbo has been nicked up as well down the stretch, though. He's awesome to watch.
Very, very, very good.
I think it'll be a really good game, close game. So I'll take the points here. Wish it was at 3, but I'll take the 2, I guess.
Ohio versus Miami of Ohio.
The battle.
The Red Hawks and Chuck Martin laying 1.5.
I had lunch with an Ohio alum.
Oh,
Friday.
Was he
was
this person like 80 years old? Because that's pretty much the age you have to be to see a MAC title.
That's right.
Solich never got it.
He had it. I should have known he'd be prepared for this. Yep, I should have known.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to steal that.
No, I didn't mean to step into yours, but I just didn't. I guess it was a coin flip in hindsight whether you would have that or not. But I had no clue that. I was like, I feel like they play in this almost every year. He goes, yeah, they never won it.
I would have said if you set the line at Ohio MAC titles at like 8.5, I probably would have said over.
Really?
Because I feel like they are always in it.
Yep.
Are they really?
But maybe they're not.
It's always like Toledo that's always in it, and I feel like it's always like Bowling Green.
They were in the other division from Toledo and NIU, the East.
Oh.
Because it was for a while there was like, and then I think Bowling Green was in the West as well. Like so, it was all those other teams that I guess kept winning it, and then Ohio would get their, focuses smashed.
I just figured.
It's really just been since Solich too.
8.5 might have been hyperbole, but I just feel like Solich won like 3.
Yeah.
No, that win at Penn State just counts as 3.
Yeah.
Well, I think is your buddy excited?
Oh yeah, I think he's thinking of going.
Going good.
Where is this played on campus, or where's that played?
Nah, it's Detroit.
In the pits of
where the site of Thursday Night Football is right now, and the freaking Lions just scored on.
They just went in,
goal, yeah.
Yep.
Detroit City. It's gonna be a long drive home. I got the Red Hawks.
Me too. So they were in the same division.
They have it up in I guess in Michigan. Yeah. I was gonna say, why don't they have it in Ohio? Aren't all the teams in Ohio in the MAC?
And Bowling Green was in the East Division as well. So, yeah. But Solich went to 4. I just looked it up.
Okay. I'll go with the Spread Hawks. They were the favorites coming in. Had a rough start to the season. Lost to budget teams. I'll go Red Hawks.
Irish.
Yeah, Spread Hawks.
They were the favorites. I remember.
AY looking for 2 conference champion defeats on his.
I remember saying I said to Rance after the loss to Northern Illinois, yeah, this sucks because we still have to play the best MAC team.
Dan, are you with the fellas in Athens?
I am, yes. Oh no, I'm with Miami.
Oh, so you were going against your fellow from Athens.
Yep.
Friend from Athens.
All Red Hawks.
Spread Hawks.
Now we go down south to Atlanta, Georgia, Texas. Texas 2.5-point favorites here. Another rematch. We know what happened the last time.
I've seen enough from Georgia's offense and seen what they did against Georgia Tech. I think you'll see a much better game from the Texas offense this time around, or at the very least, not nearly as many turnovers. And so as a result, you'll see Texas win here by more than that 2.5. I got them pulling it out. I'll go find a touchdown. 24-17.
One Georgia picking Texas somehow. I can't believe I'm picking these assholes, but
I
it just feels too easy.
said what I was thinking. I've seen enough from this Georgia offense. I don't think they have much. They don't have much weaponry. It's crazy.
Yeah.
They just don't.
So ETN is transferring.
Oh, I didn't see that again. Jeez.
Yeah, he's getting out of there.
Yeah, I think Texas is going to. I know it's in Atlanta, but some revenge here. They're playing better. And for the record, I mean, I was down on Texas for the last probably month, but I think they're getting together. This O-line is gelling, and they get it done.
Yep.
Well, we're all on Texas. Woo. We're all agreeing a lot here.
Yes, we are.
Let's see if we agree here. Marshall, Louisiana in the Fun Belt. Marshall, the best team against the spread this year.
Wow. What was the record?
11-1.
Wow.
Will they get it done here again?
I think Huff is interviewing for some of these jobs, so
Huff thinking of going up north.
He like Summerall is in the pocket of everything.
may not he's riding off that win he had a couple of years ago still in South Bend. I will go with Louisiana.
He's 11-1 against the spread.
Yeah.
Learn from Jimmy.
Saban probably he learned from. I will go. Yeah, I'll go with Louisiana here. Marshall's team not focused because of our friend here looking around for jobs. So I'll go with Louisiana. Are these the Raging Cajuns? No, they're not the Raging Cajuns, right?
I think they are. Yeah.
They're the Raging Cajuns. Okay.
Yeah.
Monroe's the Warhawks.
The Warhawks. Right.
Or Fun Row.
Fun row.
I'll go Louisiana as well.
Yeah, clean sweep. This Marshall team's been they've been skating by. They even did it again last week. They pulled the magic trick against JMU in overtime. I'm tired of it.
That's right. That was the go to this game too, right?
Yes, I'm tired of them.
Suck it, Huff.
ACC, Clemp, SMU. Again, Pruner's going to be there in Charlotte, a place Dan and I have been. And Uncle Swissy.
Yeah. I am so pissed off at Clemson for losing that game. I was ready. I would have been on here, despite my awful record. I would have been so delighted if that Scar team would have lost to this ass Clemson team that should have lost to my ass team, or at least my team that was playing like ass the last month of the season. As we've already covered, it was only 1 month. But I'm going Clem. This feels like the stars aligned. That's stupid. Starting with that stupid Klubnik run. Ever since then, they got things going for them.
I don't know where to go here. It's weird. I like SMU's offense.
The key to them is don't play like a bunch of bitches, like Pitt did, and that's also the key to beating Mississippi State basketball. I should add on. You cannot play like a bunch of bitches against them.
Yeah,
it was 90 to like.
Oh man, to give up that many points, it's like I'm sitting there watching the Ohio State game on Friday with my dad. I'm like, they don't play defense. Look, like they're gonna get.
Did you watch the Ohio State game last night though?
Well, I saw the score after it was brought to my attention. the Pitt synergy with Kevin Willard doing the Buckeyes in.
I think they were down by 40 at one point.
Yeah. Yeah, Pitt did not get down 40, fortunately, but they did play like a bunch of bitches. But that's the keys to the game if you're Clemson. Don't play like bitches, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. This is a tough one. I'll go Clemson as well. Close game. I think they'll muck it up. I'll go Dabo.
Where is A going,
I will tell you I am most excited for this game of any of them because this is like the outside the Mountain West. Like this game means the most.
True.
I know you can talk about seeding and all that and paths, but this is truly in or out. Possibly for both.
Right. Which I covered, it feels like 5 hours ago.
Yes, I'm going Clemp. I just kind of what you guys are saying. Stars aligning, games in Charlotte. They've been here. I hope it's close. I want to see a good game. I'm going Clemson to cover and to win.
Is it? This is also in the evening still.
8:00.
ABC.
I would think so. Yeah.
And are you on Fox, Ken, or CBS?
CBS.
So who's Fox have for this?
In the night slate?
Or any, right?
I think they might get Big 12. I think they get Big 12.
Take a look here. I didn't even think of that. I just assumed your game was good because didn't they have?
Fox has let's see, December 5th, the week 15. ABC's the Big 12. ABC's the SEC.
Fox only has
the
Fox
Mountain West.
only has UNLV Boise.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's surprising.
CBS Sports, ABC, Friday night.
That's shame. Shame the devil that. I know it's the Conference USA. Conference USA is the worst conference now, right?
Yeah.
But still, shame the devil that's on cable or that cable plus channel. That was a great game too last year with Kill. Remember that?
Yeah.
New Mexico State and Liberty just chucking it back and forth.
Yeah.
Pavia.
The legend. The legend grew out west in Las Cruces.
Yeah, wonder. Although he played, I feel like he had a pretty good bowl game the year before too. Pavi's he's been in the orbit, just unnoticed.
Oh, he's trying to stay in the orbit.
Oh, really?
His lawsuit has been denied allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
For another year.
Guess he's not sitting out the bowl game then.
No. Yeah, I'm probably going big screen Clemson SMU and the Big Ten, which we're gonna get to now. We'll probably just get the muted iPad. Sorry, Kent.
Or AY, where'd you go? You went Clemp or SMU?
Clemp.
Look at that.
Look at the clean sweeps.
I know.
Well, every single game, yeah, we agreed on.
Except for ISU, ASU.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, I went rogue with the fork. Well, if it goes the way of last week, this is gonna be bad.
Hopefully, you guys don't drag me down below 500.
Yeah, exactly. That's it was the only beacon because even the locks. What am I on the locks now? That's why I was really pissed. I thought I had a chance at 500 for the locks between
my locks are 9-5 this year.
Can showing the way.
That's just a terrible. Thank you, fucking Norvell, for kicking that onside kick. What a jackass! Of all the games I could bitch, I lost however many. I've lost 99. See if I get to 100 losses.
All right, on to the Big Ten. Indy, boots on the ground.
Yes. Not me, though. I thought it was going to be me. I actually, before Ken gets into it, so Joey texted me about the Pitt-Ohio State basketball game on Friday. And I said, it's going to be funny. Let me read exactly what I sent to him. I said, how is it?
So we almost had all three of us there.
Going to be hilarious when Ohio State loses to Michigan tomorrow. Chose to earmark trip to Indy in favor of this hoop clash. There you go. Missed an epic ending, and I am not going to Indy.
I'm not
Penn
either.
State.
Attempted sent out feelers, as I told you guys, but
Have you been there, AY, ever?
never been to the
Just
drum?
no.
At some point,
I guess
like,
you've been to the state.
been to the state many times. Yes. Kent, you're getting 3.5 against the Ducks. What do you think?
Won't dive too deeply here, but I think this is not. I'm excited about the game. I'm not enthused about the shape of the team and how they are heading into it. I'm sure they're fired up. I know they're gonna be really, really fired up, but they're down a ton of pieces. One of their best linemen, Daco, and Alonzo Ford, a key defensive tackle that's been getting a lot more playing time here down the stretch. Both of them out for the year. And then you have Harrison Wallace, who didn't play against Maryland, top receiver, for whatever that's worth. He didn't. He's nicked up, had a tweak before the Maryland game. So Penn State, and that's ahead of already a lot of other injuries that they've been dealing with. Oregon got through a long stretch, had that late bye week before the Washington game, laid it on Washington. They've known already that they're in this Big Ten championship game for the last couple of weeks now, and so they've been able to manage that and rest guys to a certain extent, and so they're much more rested. Tez Johnson's back. They're really
okay. I didn't know what the deal was with him.
He was back last week. Yeah,
he was back last week, and so I just on its face, I'm not enthused about the shape of Penn State's team. I had been saying I'm very excited that they're going to be getting four weeks off basically ahead of their playoff game at home. Now you're playing another week to potentially, if you lose, be in the same spot, except with more wear and tear on your guys.
You did say that about a month ago.
Yeah, and that's knock on wood if you have no injuries, no additional injuries. Now, if you get a couple more guys that bite the dust, that'd be disastrous here for any plans. But you're playing for a championship. This is what you play for. And so I'm excited for the players. I'm excited for the program to make it back to Indianapolis first time since 2016. The game itself, I see Penn State. Obviously, they've been very methodical throughout the year, which has been to the chagrin of many Penn State fans. I don't count myself amongst them. Not amongst the fans. I do count myself watching it frustrated sometimes.
Neither amongst the fans or.
No, I don't count I do count myself amongst the people that are frustrated by the lack of explosivity at times. Kotelnicki, the way he's called this offense at times has been frustrating, but I think in a game like this, it would be beneficial, actually, the methodicalness, the way that he'll try to lean on Oregon's defense, which is very good. They've got a lot of really, really good pieces up front. The ends with Birch and Ewing Angalale, Derek Harmon inside, all very, very good pieces that I'm a little worried about Penn State's offensive line. Rucci, who came in for Donko, did a little better against Maryland, but he's been targeted. He was targeted against Minnesota and didn't really do that well. So not enthused about what's going to happen with him against those ends. The backside of it, they were able to get some. They've given up some plays here and there, but it's all in all very, very good and fast athletic defense. Penn State's going to have to be able to get some weird runs, misdirection, some reverses, something like that. And some maybe option. I think the running quarterback, whether it be Trace or Tyler Warren, is going to figure heavily here because they're going to have to open up some lanes. The regular run game hasn't been good. Katron Allen's been very bad down the stretch the second half of the year. And Singleton, he looks like he's getting healthier, which is good because they need him now.
I want to say his numbers from the first half to the second half much better of late.
Well, he got hurt in that Illinois game, didn't play against UCLA, and then has been on the mend for the last month or so. The last couple of weeks he's been coming on, which is good, a good sign, especially as we've seen Katron Allen wane. And so against like a team like Ohio State, which I think is comparable on defensively to Oregon. Penn State was not able to run the ball in a conventional run game, so they're going to have to find ways to find creases for him. And he still hasn't popped a big run here since that Bowling Green game. He had a big one against West Virginia. They're going to need one of those here, I think, to keep the game within reach and maybe win it. On the defensive side of the ball, I'm a little worried about Penn State and some of the speed that they have on the outside with Stewart and Tez Johnson. Trayshawn Holden's a big body guy that can make plays as well. And then they got Ferguson, the tight end, who's also very good. That's not even talking, accounting for Jordan James, who's been, I think, one of the best backs in the Big Ten, probably number 2 behind Caleb Johnson at Iowa. And Dylan Gabriel, he's the leading passer in history. He's got all the stats from all his time. He can find these guys, but there's a reason why he's not an NFL guy. He's small. He can run a little bit, but he also turns the ball over. You've seen all the red zone picks that he's had this year. Penn State's going to need another 1 or 2 of those mistakes and I think they can make him feel. They got the Big Ten Player of the Year on the defensive side of the ball. Abdul Carter's been really, really coming on of late. I think he's got 4 more tackles for loss than anybody else in the Big Ten. He's had multiple 2-sack games the second half of the year, and so in Big Ten play, I'm really excited to see what he's going to do against Oregon's line, which struggled earlier in the year, but they've really, really solidified after those first couple of weeks where they really looked pretty bad. I know they were getting over some injuries, and now they're settled in. All this to say, I find it hard. I think you go down the list of matchups in each position group, and I don't see very many check marks on the Penn State side of things. So with this relatively smaller line, I didn't expect it to get bet up, and it never really moved. We'll see if it does here in the next couple of days. But I do think Penn State would fall here by more than this 3. I don't think it'd be by much more, probably maybe like a 7-point game, something like that. But I do think Penn State will take the L here. Hopefully, like I said, the wear on the tread will not be too much, and they'll come out with their health intact, hopefully. But I take Oregon here to cover.
I don't think you should be upset if you do take the L and you come out healthy.
No, exactly.
I mean, I know it sounds weird, having to play an extra game.
It's not a bad consolation. It is not a bad consolation.
Like we talked about, I think, I don't know if it was production or early in the episode, but yeah, I mean, if you're a good team, you should be able to handle the 5 seed slot and then, go from there with the 4 and so on.
Yep.
So I wouldn't be upset with that, if I was you.
If Penn State wins and Georgia wins, there's no way they put Georgia as the 1 over them, right?
No, Penn State would be the 1 there, yeah. Penn State would absolutely.
So then you get Ohio State or Tennessee as your consolation.
But I don't want that. I want Texas. Penn State at 2. I would rather Penn State be 2 than 1, I think. 2 would get the winner of
potentially
the winner of who's that?
Potentially, if Georgia wins, potentially Notre Dame, Indiana.
I wouldn't want that. Because if Georgia wins, I would
for the content.
Penn State would be the 1 seed. I don't want the 1 seed. I want the 2 seed. Because the 1 seed would get the winner of Tennessee, Ohio State, right?
Oh, wait. So if Georgia wins and then you win, you're the 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
If Texas wins and you win, you're the 2.
Probably the 2. But that 2 would be with.
Probably Georgia would be the 7 still.
So you're telling me it could be a Rose Bowl with Ohio State and Penn State?
Yes.
Based on what we talked about earlier, that'd be wild.
I think I played that in NCAA. Not Rose Bowl. That exact Rose Bowl.
In the second round?
Yes.
A Penn State win in this game gives us a shot at a second round Holy Try matchup.
That would be something.
Only trying chief implications, however, not the official trophy.
We would obviously one team would have to hold up their end of the bargain and get there.
Yes.
A lot of moving pieces. As for the game itself, I actually am a little less doom and gloom than you can. But that being said, I think all these teams are kind of there's obviously no separation, so I don't see as Chelsea joins. I don't see why you can't hang right in there. Oregon has their faults for sure. I think it's gonna be a pro-state crowd.
Yeah,
I don't know how many people are going to be in that crowd.
You can't be fooled by the Gabriel heater that he went on that I mentioned. I was going to mention earlier. I was going to mention it. I'm mentioning it now. Like, that is not admissible evidence. That guy's played football for 9,000 years. He had one night against, and I would even give way more credit to his guys than him. That being said, also for me, even if he doesn't play that well, there's not the margin for error, I think, is probably a little wider with Penn State, provided what you mentioned about the offensive and defensive line matchup bears out closer to what you think than otherwise. So that's why I said I will be stunned if Penn State does not lose this game by 6 points.
Like it, or more or less.
Exactly. I mean, I guess 6 or 7 points to your point. But like this is all the data.
Yeah.
All the years of Franklin. This is just like 27-21 or something like that.
Yeah. Anyway, what do you have?
I definitely think Penn State hangs around. But
enough.
I mean, Franklin's going against the inventor of the late game, the late game cover.
Heroics.
So yeah, until I see Jimmy do it, I gotta go Oregon. But this?
And both of these teams were 3.5-point underdogs at home to Ohio State, which is why I'm kind of like, is this even a little too high?
The line does seem a little weird. It is.
But then you get McShay coming on there saying, "Oh, I'd be stunned. I'm surprised the Oregon's off favored by 6." Yeah, because you know what the fuck you're talking about when it comes to point spreads.
Yeah, his pods are all SEC and
it's nauseating.
It's
absolutely nauseating.
Colorado SEC. That's all it is. Does this qualify as a big game?
This is a big game.
I think this is a big game.
Okay, then yeah, I'm going. I was going to make a case it wasn't.
I mean, in ways it's not. I see what you're saying.
The get-in price is $12.
The trophy being on the line, one of the number 2 jewel for any power conference football program is the conference title, I would say.
In a very weird way, I think it would be funny if Penn State won, and then got the 1 seed and got boned over.
Oh my God, it would be freaking the worst.
But you would have that. You would have the Big Ten win at least.
You'd have the Big Ten win, and your prize is a trophy and probably Ohio State in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah,
and then say you slay that dragon, you get a pissed off Oregon again.
It's not fun.
No,
would you so that's the thing, like you were talking about it earlier, AY, about wanting Bama as opposed to like in Indiana or someone like that, or maybe SMU or whoever. Is that so Ken, are you not in that you would rather feel like you're the favorite for as long as possible?
Yeah.
As opposed to just like
the easiest.
Nobody's going to be like that stunned, even if this iteration of Alabama beats us, or you would still rather have that.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Because I think you would
never be in a position to answer that, so I don't know how I feel.
I would rather have
until I'm D. Boone Pickens.
The easiest path to get the furthest, and then when you get to that first challenge or the first really big game where you're not favored.
I see you.
To have one game, have the chips fall where they may.
Yeah.
But I want to get to that point with the highest stakes. I don't want to play the highest, the dragon in level 1, and then have to play 3 more dragons.
But to
I'd
my
rather
point about
play 2 peons, and then when you get
Yeah.
to the dragon, have it mean something
But-
when you beat them, so that you're further along.
Yeah, but to my point earlier about Army, like, would you be able to endure just the 7 days, like at the thought of potentially losing to Army at home in the humiliation?
That'd be bad.
That'd be bad. Like that's where I'm kind of like,
I would
There is-
love if Penn State drew Army.
that's what I was saying. It'd be hilarious if they got them. Obviously, the Irish already beat them, but that would be one for sure in years where they don't play. Or like even the Big 12. Well, I guess what was it? Yeah, they played that infamous game against Oklahoma, right? The pay-per-view game. They went to
Yeah,
Oklahoma
yeah,
and
they did
Tyler.
play that one. Yes.
Yeah.
Army
like
took Michigan
something
to the
like
game,
that.
too.
Or yeah, Michigan. Yeah, them. Yeah. So that's where I'm like, I don't know.
You see, Green Bay just intercepted, and then
I did. Yeah.
red zone now.
All right, where are we going for locks?
Oh god. Yeah, I forgot I have to even pick a lock still.
I'm going Texas.
I hate to do this. I'm kind of a shithouse for this, but Miami of Ohio. The Spreadhawks.
I'm going Miami's good. That's a good one.
Thank you. It's gonna lose now, but thank you. Not that you said that I picked them.
Yeah, I'll get mine out of the way. Give me Rich Rod.
Right.
And does he parlay that into a return trip to West Virginia? And Jacobs is in there. Wow.
Take me home.
I would be for that. You were talking about I might have to go to that game next year, if Rich Rod's back.
Oh yeah. That's
I would have to make a one-time
that's in a
amendment.
creature.
I would love to go back to the scene of the crime where he coached his last game at West Virginia.
I see.
That's why I say that, yes.
Oh, so it's not in a creature next year.
No, I've seen plenty. I've seen all I need to see at Creature.
Well, there's a matchup against the Irish and the Creature next year.
Is AY crashing it?
I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. We'll cross that bridge in the off season, but
Maybe my dad will cross the picket line. I don't know. We'll see. Although
what would have you guys come back?
Oh yeah, just give the seat, like give the actual seats.
Oh, give the actual seats back. Okay.
Yeah, that's all I want.
What if they upgraded you?
No, yeah, not the point.
Not
The
even.
point is that was so idiotic what they did, and have whatever six pieces of it.
Have they indicated if it's temporary? Like, are they working?
I'm hoping it went out with the. I'm hoping it went out with Heather Lyke. To be honest with you, I could see that nitwit doing something like that. But it's either that or some stupid committee. Like we had a zoo committee I was on. I mean, I wasn't on the actual committee, but I would go to the meetings. Never ran for office on the Oakland Zoo committee, but I'm sure there was some collaboration there. Like, we don't like going up into the top left, and even though they leave at halftime, and then they never go to a game or go to one game every 5 years after they graduate. Twats, the worst. So yeah, I'll be making a phone call January to see if they're going to reverse course on that, and then probably go. We'll see. Be year to year after that, but I would definitely go back for that. Can't end it on a 3-9 season. That's not what Pitt football does. We go 6-6 or 7-5 most years until everyone's surprised.
okay, that's a good.
There is safe travel. When are you guys going tomorrow? I assume.
Yeah, I'm leaving tomorrow morning.
Not doing the day of. I guess that's a haul, right? Or are you flying?
Flying.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'd be a haul to Indy from.
Oh yeah, it's 10 hours. I did that last time.
Yeah, they would do it every year for vacation
Yeah, I did
in
I
Seattle,
did
but
2016. All right.
Ken, enjoy your trip. For me, AY from the Beautiful State Capital, the red state, the Commonwealth, the Pennsylvania to my west, D-Berg.
Good night, all.
And Cam to my east, soon to be my west.
Safe travels all that are traveling this weekend to championship weekend. Anybody heading out of Charlotte, AY and Dan can let you guys go.
Stay at the Drury Inn. The Drury Inn, 2 for 2. No
We'll
issues at the Drury Inn, Charlotte.
We'll be back next year. Thank you for listening. Have a good weekend and take care.
Oh, God.